Hello. I apparently pushed the wrong button and I'm 12 minutes late. I wonder if any of you still are there. Uh, wow, that was remarkable. I just went through my entire routine and I just realized I hadn't pushed the right button. So welcome. If any of you are still paying attention. Sorry about that. I'm very late. But okay, let's start again. Apologize. I wanted to do a very, very quick live Kickstarter video today for you. Here's where I wanted to start. I wanted to start with the notion of here's what we've learned. Here's what we did over the last 5 years. Why do these products behave the way they do? They do because we learned 4 very, very important aspects of a product that you told us. Reusability, non-damaging, multiple surfaces, and that it holds weight. That's what we needed to achieve. So if you think about our grip hook technology, right? This product, and the idea that we can put it up on this door and hang a lab jacket on it. I can take it off of there, peel it off with no damage, and move it over to painted cinder block. Don't like it there, and I can move it from there and put it over on painted drywall. That's what we wanted to achieve. That's where we wanted to get started. So the idea of creating something that's unmatched in the marketplace is what we want to come out to the marketplace with. Now, remember, please, there is no panacea, no overall cure for what ails us in the world of surface mounting devices. We've come out with something that does something that no one's ever done before. But think of it this way. This is not a magical tape. People call us up and say, hey, send me some of your magical tape. Or more alarming sometimes, they call up and say, send me some of your magical tape. And how do you get the hairs on there? Or the suction cups? Or the nanoparticles? No nano, no micro, no suction cups, no hairs. This is a hard problem to solve. It's taken us 4 years to do it. But think of it this way. Put it in context of all the other wonderful products that we have out there. We have screws and nails, tapes, glues, Velcro, right? We have other gecko-inspired technologies that are fantastic. They operate very differently. Those with nano and micro particles, for example. I mean, nano and micro constructs. In a sense, here's what I'd like you to think about it. Those nanostructures are the equivalent to what we call the tendon on ours. They're bearing the load of the device. Think of it another way. There are wonderful consumer products that are out there that that you can put a picture up on your wall and then peel it off. No damage. It's called a removable adhesive. We've had those for years in the marketplace. But those removable adhesives, you won't be able to use several times. You won't necessarily be able to use on multiple surfaces, and they can't bear a load, right? They can't hold a weight. That's what we figured out with Geckskin. So you have to have what we call three-dimensionality, or the anatomy of a gecko, right? So this idea of pad, skin, and tendon. What people are trying to understand, can't you get rid of the tendon? Can't you just make it two-sided? Can't you make a two-sided device that'll do this? And the answer is no. Something has to bear that load. That's the anatomical difference of Geckskin technology, and taking, as inspired by the animal. Now, let me also point out something to you. People are always trying to get rid of the tendon. Can't you get rid of it? But let me point out something here, which is this. I have here another device. Now, this one I put on plexiglass, right? So it's made of film. But what I wanted to show you is now I've put it on plexiglass, and the whole point of this guy is it's using the anatomy differently. So you can put it on, and now we can deal with normal force. So I can take the jacket, for example, and hold it normally. Not in shear. Actually, I have 180 degrees of freedom. So you've never seen this device before. This is the tendon. Now, we can debate attractiveness, of course, but certainly the notion of utility shows itself when you can understand, okay, these guys are doing something completely different with the notion of an anatomical device. Now, I know you're thinking, whoa, these guys have been holding out on us. That's something new and different. Yes, we've been holding out on you. I'll confess. It's called sandbagging in sales. But the point being, I wanted to impress upon you the fact that we're playing with so many different new products that we're going to bring to market. Now, so that's the idea of the surface mounting products. Last time, I showed you the idea of what we affectionately call Gek on Gek, right? Putting two pieces together to make a closure. It's the very beginning of the notion of a closure. I said that you have the material, you have the design, and you have the integration. Those are all three of the aspects or concepts of what you need to create a closure. Just like we learned about reusability, non-damage, bearing a load, and reuse multiple surfaces on surface mounting devices for closures, what we've learned is what people want: cool, innovative, thin, silent, but they also want strong with an easy peel, because that's what a gecko does, right? It has an easy peel to be able to move as it needs to. So if you take the concepts of what we've learned in the last 4 or 5 years from customers, both corporate and consumer, designers, entrepreneurs, and you now think about that in terms of where can we take this? So then you have to understand where we're taking Geckskin technology is onto multiple industrial and consumer applications: lighting, packaging, marine, sports equipment, shades and blinds, flooring, robotics, sealants, process industries, medical devices, military, construction, so many more. Those are the industries in which we'll be able to implement new Geckskin devices to solve problems. Next concept I want to leave you with was this notion of think like Geckskin. Actually, we take that objective very, very seriously. In the first or second video, I said that part of what we have to do if we're going to succeed is bring you with us. We're not just a passive product. A tape is a relatively passive product. That's one of the reasons it's so sticky, is that you just pop it up on the wall and you know it's going to stick. Whereas with our devices, not only do we have to pay attention to the peel, but we have to pay attention to the fact that we have to press it on, right? We have to press it on the wall and be part of its implementation. So this idea of thinking like Geckskin in a mechanical adhesive and behaving slightly differently and thinking about it, I also mentioned this notion of if you want to put 5, 10, 20 pounds on painted drywall, it turns out the paint may be the limiting factor. I'll give you another example. This week somebody wrote to me and said, you know, I thought it was Geckskin that I'd be able to put it on my fingers. All right, so imagine we made a glove, which I believe we will do one day. But if we just made a simple glove that you put on, where would be the weak point? If the paint is the weak point in hanging 20 pounds on your painted drywall, where's the weak point? I put a glove on. The weak point is probably the relationship between the glove and your fingers. Your fingers will probably slip inside the glove. So any idea of a glove that may be totally different using Geckskin principles would ultimately fail or be suboptimal by virtue of the relationship. I need you to think systemically, the relationship between your fingers and the glove itself. Why do I leave you with this message? Because this notion of thinking systemically, not just a piece of tape that you slap onto something, it's not what we do, is what's going to make our products better. It's part of what we need to do to bring you with us. The more ideas that you think about and share with us will only encourage us to make better and better products of higher and higher utility to solve the problems that you see that you would love to change the way we currently do things. Last point before I leave you is this. The picture that I showed when I advertised for this live Kickstarter was this. Right? This is a grip hook, believe it or not. This is a grip hook made in the University of Massachusetts Amherst laboratory. Now that grip hook is holding a solar panel, but the grip hook is made entirely of natural materials. It's made of natural rubber and hemp. So this whole notion of sustainability and where we're going, I mentioned in one of the earlier videos that what my colleagues Al Crosby and Duncan Ershik did by holding 350 pounds using everyday materials, or by making that device made of entirely renewable materials, is a beacon. It's where we're going with Phelsuma. So this whole notion of today we start with the declaration of baby steps with sustainability, with non-damaging and reusable. But tomorrow we'll be able to incorporate new materials in a way that no one else has before with this technology. And that's where we're going with it. So I wanted to leave you with this notion of trying to think about materials around us completely different. And that's what Geckskin allows us to do. That's all I wanted to say today. I'm terribly sorry for being late. Not just late, actually in error. I suppose the last thing I'll say is this. Thank you again very much for supporting us in this Kickstarter. It allows us to get started. We'll now be able to start our manufacturing, which was the whole goal. And we'll now move the party over to our website. Our website is buygeckskin.com, B-U-Y, Geckskin.com. So when this Kickstarter ends, that's where you'll find us, offering these products and several more, some of which I demonstrated to you last video. Thanks very much. See you there. Bye.